Okay. So for the icebreakers and the team building challenge, I really like the spaghetti towers with the marshmallows. So students need to get the spaghetti and marshmallows, and they kind of had a quick like mini lesson on how to like make a tower like structurally sound. I really like this one because I remember doing this one in school. Something a little similar, but it was more like an upper level. We had to build towers and like a bridge, and we sent cars across it. Um, but I like this one because it requires you to work really hands on with your peers and you get to know them a lot better. Um, and I think like this one really helps you as a teacher and your students figure out who they work really well with, and how to problem solve with working with different minded people regardless of age. So I really like that because I feel like if you put them in groups of four and you kind of just set them free with slight guidance on what is good to build a tower, like kind of the structure, but not the direction they should go. So I feel like then you really figure out who like your leaders are, who kind of are like going with the flow, different personalities in a group. And then that way when you are assigning groups or you're making a new seating plan, you kind of can space out your leaders, your followers, get some more integration in there. And then for the make it personal part, I just quit my daycare job to move back home, and I'm really sad about it. But I had this little boy, his name was Silas, and he was one of my, like we were close. We were pretty close. He was only 2. When I first started, he was barely a year. He was a year, 1 month. So we got really close in building a relationship. I got placed in this classroom quite often, so we would, he wasn't walking when I first started, so we really worked a lot on walking and talking, like getting his vocab up, and I just spent a lot of time with this kid, and really, I was just calm and patient with him a lot. So when over time, his mom came and was like, "Who's Aubrey?" And I was like, "Oh, that's me." And she's like, "Well, he's been coming home saying your name." And I was like, "I haven't heard him say anybody else's name besides mine and his older brother's." And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." So me and this little boy, we built this huge relationship off of when he was younger. And then when he aged up and moved to one of our other rooms, every time we'd go outside or hang out, like in the play area together, it was always Aubrey, Aubrey, Aubrey. It was really impactful because this was like the first kid that I like really bonded with there, who like kind of just instantly just had this connection and just really wanted to be like loved. Like he just always wanted to be around me, always wanted to know what I was doing. I did a lot of office work there as well, so if I was out at the office and they were in the play area, he would be like, "Is Aubrey over there?" And we would just talk, and he would just want to talk, and like, he was always asking me questions, so I just built his curiosity. I don't think our relationship would have been as impactful in my life if it wasn't as strong as it was, because there's kids I left the daycare with that I was like, yeah, this is sad, but like him and like a handful of other kids that I've either known for like way longer or built such a strong connection with definitely changed a lot of it, because there were some kids there that I was like, yeah, I'll miss you, you were cute, but then there was kids that like you were my babies. Like, you helped me grow as a person, and I helped you grow. So I definitely think that it wouldn't have been as impactful as if we didn't have like a strong relationship. What lessons did you learn from this experience, and how will it impact the way you build? It definitely opened my eyes to how much relationships do matter, because there was some teachers there that like would not care about building relationships with kids, and they would struggle. I mean, I get we worked with 2s and youngers, 3s and youngers, and I understand that they're not always going to listen. They have their mind of their own. But it definitely showed me that like the strong relationship you had with these kids, the more they would listen to you. Because there'd be times, you know, I'd be at the desk doing something and the teacher would open the door, like one of the night girls or something, and they would be like, can you come in here and help me? I can't get them to listen. I can't get them to put their shoes on. And I would go in there, and most of the time it was kids I had a really good relationship with, and I was like, all right guys, we need to listen to blah blah blah, we need to put our shoes on, we're getting ready to go outside. And it would tend to work. They would come up to me, they'd be like, can you help me? I need help. Do we put our jackets on? So it'll definitely leave an everlasting impact on me, because I want to have a strong relationship with my kids and just make sure that they know the expectations, know the rules, but also know that I love and care about them regardless of what happens. So yeah.